All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down the legend of one of the most fascinating gods in the Taoist pantheon, Xuan Tian Shang. So, who exactly is this guy? I mean, is he a prince who gave up his throne for a higher calling? A butcher racked with guilt? Or maybe a divine rock star with an emperor as his number one fan? Well, the wild part is, he's kind of all of those things. Okay, so at his core, his official title is the Supreme Emperor of the Dark Heaven. Pretty epic, right? He's this powerhouse warrior god who rules the north, controls water, and kicks demon butt. But behind that impressive resume, oh man, his backstory is just packed with these incredible, almost unbelievable contradictions. To really get a handle on him, you have to look at where he came from. And, this is where it gets really interesting. See, there isn't just one origin story. Nope, there are two, and they're polar opposites. One is all about privilege and spirituality, and the other, it's all about grit and redemption from the ground up. So, the first story, well, it starts at the very, very top. We're talking royalty. He was born a prince, the heir to an entire kingdom. But instead of going after all that power and wealth, he was searching for something deeper, enlightenment. So he just walked away from the palace, went up to Wudang Mountain, and lived as a hermit for, get this, 42 years, all to find the Tao. Okay, now let's just do a complete 180. The second version, the one that's more of a folk legend, says he wasn't a prince at all. He was a butcher. His entire job, his whole life, was about taking lives. And then one day it just hits him, the massive weight of all his sins, and he decides he has to make up for it in, let's just say, the most dramatic way imaginable. I mean, the contrast here is just staggering, right? The prince's story is about giving up worldly power to find spiritual power. The butcher's story is about atoning for a life of, well, sin to find divine grace. It's the ultimate top-down versus bottom-up way to become a god. And you can kind of see why both stories stuck. The elites could look up to this scholarly prince, while everyday people could find so much hope in the butcher's story of redemption. Okay, so, about that drastic act I mentioned, in his quest to be forgiven, the story goes that the butcher literally disemboweled himself. He threw his own stomach and intestines into a river to, wash away his sins. But here's the twist. Those organs, soaking up the power of the sun and moon, actually transformed into a massive turtle demon and a snake demon. So, after he becomes a god, what's his first big mission? He has to go back and fight the very demons that he, well, created from his own guts. Wow. So how does the deity, with a backstory this wild, become a national superstar? Well, it really helps when you have a superfan in a very, very high place. You can actually trace his explosion in popularity to one key historical moment. We're in the Ming Dynasty, and a prince named Zhu Di is in the middle of this absolutely brutal civil war to grab the throne. He later claimed that Xuan Tian Shang himself gave him divine help to win his battles. And, well, when he did win and became the Yongle Emperor, you better believe he was ready to pay that favor back in a big way. And I mean, the Yongle Emperor went all out. He didn't just send a thank you card. He started these huge construction projects on Wudang Mountain, built incredible temples just for him, and then, this is the big one, he officially made Xuan Tian Shang the protector god of the entire Ming Dynasty. It was basically the ultimate divine marketing campaign. And yeah, his popularity just went through the roof, everywhere. What's so cool is that these epic stories, they aren't just stories. They're literally written all over his iconic appearance. Every single part of how he's depicted tells a piece of his legend. So come on, let's break down his divine toolkit. Okay, so when you see a statue or an image of him, you're pretty much always going to see these three key things. He's got his awesome 7-star sword, he has long hair that's completely unbound, and right under his feet, you'll find that turtle and snake who are now his loyal generals. And every single one of these things has a deep meaning. The unbound hair? That's a nod to his 42 years living wild as a hermit up on the mountain. The 7-star sword? That's his ultimate demon-slaying weapon, a gift from the Jade Emperor himself. And having the turtle and snake under his feet? Well, that's a powerful, constant reminder that he can conquer evil, even the evil that literally came from inside himself. So why does an ancient god like this still matter so much to people today? Well, it all comes down to what he represents when people pray to him. His divine resume is incredibly diverse. Seriously, as a warrior god, people pray to him to get protection from evil and to find success in their careers, especially if they're in something like the military or law enforcement. As the god of the north and water, he's the one you call on to stop floods or to keep you safe on a sea voyage. But the most unique part? Because of that butcher story, he's the god people go to when they need a fresh start. He's this amazing symbol that no matter how dark your past is, you can still be redeemed. And this isn't just a historical thing. His importance is celebrated in a huge way every single year on the third day of the third lunar month. That's his holy birthday, and you'll see these massive festivals at his temples, all honoring the protection and, of course, the redemption he stands for. So when you put all of the pieces together, he's just this incredible figure, isn't he? You've got the discipline of a spiritual prince, the amazing transformation of a repentant butcher, and the sheer power of an emperor-backed protector god, all rolled into one. He really is a Taoist superhero. And all of this leaves us with one big question, right? What does Xuan Tian Shang really represent? Is he the ultimate symbol of righteous power, the guy you call to vanquish evil? Or is he the symbol of profound redemption, the living proof that anyone, no matter what they've done, can find their way to divinity? The real power of his story is that he's probably both.